An horrific story has a twist at the end. Right here on TBTV. This is tough, okay? Because we covered this story earlier this week. It is tough not just because of the obvious that it involves the death of this beautiful angel that you see on the screen here. Her name was Jazmine Barnes. She was 7 years old. She was with her mother and her siblings. They were leaving a Walmart for no reason at all. Someone fired into the vehicle, instantly killing Jazmine Barnes and wounding her mother. A couple of the other children were injured from the shattered glass, but everyone else survived except for 7-year-old Jazmine Barnes. Now, according to one of the siblings, who was 16 years old, she was in the back seat, she saw a white guy in a red truck speed away. There were other people who were at the scene who also saw a white man in a red truck, pickup truck, speed away. So they thought the shooter, who they had been looking for, was a white guy in a red truck who sped away. I say that when they first found out about it, man, please, we got to find this killer as quick as possible. I believe that this country does not need more incidents of white and black like murder. Like, we don't need any murder at all. But when this breaks on division, racial lines like that, it riles up, and I think that we're already at pretty much a place where I think we had enough. You know, I think we had. I just think it continues to feed this constant media push to us to just hate each other and just go after each other and to look at each other as a group instead of individuals, and that's what continually happens. So I was one of those people going, find whoever this son of a bitch is. Let's bring him to justice. Let's get justice for this child and wrap this story up. This is the person that they saw in the pickup truck fleeing away. Okay? So that's what they were looking for. But it turns out that was not the killer. That was not the killer of this young lady. But I did see a level of community aspect with certain people who were just heartbroken. Some people that follow me, voiced their opinions about how heartbroken they were. Then we had Shaquille O'Neal. He came and he donated money. He took care of the funeral arrangements for the child, and it was just one last thing, just another thing that just really ripped at the hearts and souls of good people. Good people torn up inside, right? Turns out the killer is this piece of work right here. Okay. That's the killer of Jazmine Barnes. Real killer's name is Eric Black Jr., 20-year-old black male. Harris County Sheriff's Office detectives announced his arrest on Sunday morning. All evidence gathered so far in the Jazmine Barnes homicide case supports the investigator's strong belief that she and her family were innocent victims. The Sheriff's Office filed charges of capital murder against Mr. Black Jr. The investigation initially took a different route, as I explained. Turns out the white guy that they saw was just someone who heard gunshots and tried to get the hell out of there. He was fleeing, but not because he shot anyone. He was fleeing because he didn't want to get shot, which is a perfectly understandable thing to do in light of gunshots flying around. A second suspect is also believed to be in custody in connection to the shooting. Identified the second suspect as Larry Woodruff, 24. He's alleged to be the shooter in the case, but has not yet been charged. He's currently being held on a drug possession charge. Black allegedly cooperated with the investigation and said the pistol used in the shooting was in his home. After he signed a consent to search, detectives recovered a 9mm pistol they believe to be the murder weapon. So those are the facts as we know them now, and I've communicated them to you in the best of my ability, okay? Based on what I have. Now, this is what I must say, all right? There have been some people who have made this a reason to be happy, to be elated. And in a way, I understand what you mean. If what you mean is you don't want to see people going at each other on race, based on race. You don't want to feel like, like we're never going to move anywhere. We're just going to continue to point fingers at one another. That you don't want this to be racial. It's bad enough it's a murder. We don't want it to be a racial murder. I don't know if that matters at all to the child, though. But I understand your thinking, because we live in fucking America, where in America, everything's racial, even when it's not. Now, those people that are making this seem like, oh, that's what you get, it's a black guy, you are callous as hell. You are callous as hell. I don't know how many stories I read where someone just says it was a black guy, just to say it. No reason at all. They just say it was a black guy did it. At least in this situation, there was actually a white guy fleeing in a red truck. Now, is it unfortunate that there were people who would think a white guy, a young white guy, would look like a clean head almost, with a hoodie on, driving at a high rate of speed in a pickup truck, may have had something to do with a shooting and a black woman and her child and her children in the car? Is that shameful? Is that sad? Yeah, it's pretty sad and shameful, but it's also America. The bottom line is that we, as a country, we as a group of people, as a nation of people, need to work on ourselves. If not, we get nowhere. And the deaths or the murders of children become boiled down to whose side is worse, the black or the white. So now we know it was black on black, it doesn't matter. Now it's a non-story, if not only for people on Breitbart to rub black people's noses in it. That's it. It's just sad. It's shameful. I don't think it makes them feel better that it was two black guys in a case of mistaken identity that kills a child. I don't think they feel differently. At the end of the day, regardless of who it was, it doesn't bring back this child. But online, pointing fingers, online, bragging, literally doing a Super Bowl dance because it was a black guy. You know, sometimes black guys, like, let's keep it real. Sometimes, like, when there's a real bad shooting, I worry, God, I hope it wasn't a black guy, because we live in a mostly white country. And when somebody black does something, we don't want to feel like, you know, because we have white bosses, we have mostly white police officers, and go to white hospitals and drive on white roads. And we don't want to feel like, we're going to, you know, now I got to feel like I got this cloud over my head when I go into your space. Maybe that's how you felt. That's why I say we got work to do. I don't think it's anything wrong to feel that way. What's wrong is that we feel that way. You know, it's wrong that you instinctively feel that way. That's the real deal. No one wants to talk about it. It's wrong that we have to feel that way. That you don't want to think that way, but it's an instinct to go, God, I hope that's not a black guy. I don't know if you're anything like me, but that's not because of hate. That's because America. Just how it is. So once again, I'm damn sure I won't live long enough to see us be a country where a bad guy can just be a bad guy regardless of what color they are. A victim can just be a victim regardless of what color they are. But I hope that my grandbabies can. I hope they can. All right. Memorial services were held today for the family of Jazmine Barnes. Our deepest condolences go out to them.